Hi, Charlie.
Hi Dan, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks, you.
Yeah, good, thank you. Excited to be here to talk about Top Women in EV Week, which I think's just exciting that it's something that people are excited to talk about now and get involved in, and seeing more women in the space, especially around automotive and transport. I don't know how you feel about that.
If you can get into EV now, no matter whether young people or whatever age you are, there's such a pace of change that you can really quickly learn so many new skills. I'm hoping through the EV sector, it's new and it's innovative, and it'll attract a lot of young people to it and young women, hopefully, particularly from an engineering perspective. I hope there's a lot of young women doing the same, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
projects like
totally how.
yourself.
Yeah, no, it's totally how I ended up working my way into EV. So literally in 5 or 6 short years, I went from learning how an engine works on a bus to literally implementing electric buses in a bus depot, which was really exciting and never somewhere I thought my career would ever go. So it's quite cool. I've kind of worked my way over there into doing something I really enjoy.
The experience you gain from it, I think, is really unbelievable. And I've only been with SSE 6 months. I think I've learned more in the last 6 months, although I've moved to a different industry sector. I think I've learned more in the last 6 months and learned in the last few years, to be honest with you.
Oh, same. Just the size and scale of SSE and all the expertise across the whole business you can pull from. I'd never thought how large the energy sector was and how many facets there were to it. So it's really exciting seeing, especially with my little bus niche, how it fits into it. But how, especially energy, but a lot of sectors now are looking at things a lot more holistically to go green. There's so many things about finding how they do fit in, how people can collaborate to move towards it. It means you get some really exciting projects like Bus to Grid, which is where we were looking at buses are essentially, to the energy sector, batteries on wheels. So can you utilize those batteries when the buses don't need them to support the grid? And so many other really bizarre and unusual ideas like that, which, as you said, it's bringing together some people, people in bus don't know anything about the grid and the network and the operation, and it's marrying those factors together that's the really exciting part.
And one of the things that I've really enjoyed in the last couple of months is obviously we're a headline sponsor for COP26. It really showed me how well people can collaborate, and connecting you with the right people that are looking to, they've got the same aim as you have, but they're kind of stuck, and how can we facilitate and drive that transition at a much faster scale as well. I think COP26 is something, it's a good opportunity for everyone to really push the agenda at a much faster pace, I think.
No, I'm so excited for COP because it'll be cool to see all these new ideas everyone will be bringing out and sharing, and ultimately looking for partners for, rather than just a talking shop of, look what I'm doing. It's very much like, okay, how can we integrate that and share that for a brighter future, which is one of the really exciting aspects of it.
You can really leave a legacy to green initiatives by sort of pushing forwards, and a lot of people come into this sector just now and actually pioneers, aren't they? Every day is different, and you learn something different all the time. But if you get that passion, for decarbonisation of transport, I think that's key.
People are looking for more diverse perspectives in this industry, because at the end of the day, who's going to be using electric vehicles? Pretty much everyone. So it's good to have that perspective inside the industry shaping it as well. You end up talking a lot with people who are interested in it but don't know enough. So it's really good to have these communication skills, be able to break things down quite simply, welcome people into this EV revolution, and share a bit of your skills, share some of that passion, and bring these people on board with you to sort of bring more people into the journey.
Absolutely. You need to inspire these people to be change makers too, don't you?
We're shaping the future. We'll work out people are working out where we're going as we go along. There's not a set roadmap. Now is the time where there's people that are interested, people that are invested in trying these kind of crazy experiments and seeing if does that weird concept really work, because it's something that if it takes off, it could be commonplace in as little as 5 to 10 years. It could be absolutely groundbreaking and reshape the industry. So we really need people to look at some things and think, right, okay, how can I change that, make it interesting, use these, and you're pulling in completely different concepts and work out the best way to marry them to benefit kind of everyone involved. So I guess whenever I'm asked for advice for young people or young women or anything, it's kind of like follow what you're interested in, because you find a way to make that space.
Absolutely the same. I would never have thought that I would end up in automotive. I mean, I had driven for years and I hardly drove because I hated driving. So
Oh,
you know,
really?
it wasn't. It was sort of by accident, and that I sort of did that. I worked in the civil service before that, so a bit of a change, but I've absolutely loved it, and it was a very male dominated industry. But I think in lots of ways, in its own way, that kind of gave me some opportunities as well, because you kind of stood out.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, you stood out, so you know people remembered you. You were memorable, and people noticed you. So you know you can use that sort of stuff to your advantage as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's something that I hope I'll lose this benefit eventually, because there'll be so many more kick-ass
So
women.
do I. So do I. I don't think it's not the way I would want it to be.
No, but it is something that you can kind of, you can appreciate the benefits of it while you have it. And that's the thing, being a young woman in the bus industry, I was usually the only young woman in the room. And when I'd pipe up in a meeting, you'd see people are going, who is she? But then they listen and they think, okay, she does know what she's talking about. Like, fair play to that one, kind of thing. And as you said, you're easily recognizable, and people don't forget when they bump into you.
Yeah.
So it's one of those kind of sad benefits we have at the moment. I think we're probably still have it for a while, but hopefully one day it will go.
No, I know, but you shouldn't. But I wouldn't let it defeat you from doing it. That's my, you know, although it might be a male dominated industry, don't let that put you off. Look at the opportunities within that. You know, just there's always opportunities that you can take from every situation.
For me, it's really important to be a visible queer woman working on something so kick-ass in this space where there's not enough women, but I really want to welcome them with open arms. And it's fantastic to see the industry moving that way, although I still want to see it move faster. I'm really impatient.
Yeah,